One of the challengers brought her boyfriend who does not know anything about my channel, and he asked you if we were dating. Yeah. I was like, you foolish straight man.
I was like, no.
I posted my first week in Thailand a while back. It was a vlog where I spent a full week traveling to Thailand for the first time with 20 subscribers. We had a culinary themed itinerary, so we ate a bunch of street food, Michelin star restaurants. We cooked our own food. It was a very busy week. And week 2, I started a whole new adventure, literally, with an adventure themed itinerary. So for this one, I made 20 more new friends who embarked on this challenge with me to go waterfall climbing, whitewater rafting, cycling around villages, even visiting elephant sanctuaries. I do have to note though that I ended up having less footage for this trip just because I couldn't bring my camera to a lot of the activities like whitewater rafting. We were falling left and right in the boat and out the boat into the river, so I would have definitely ruined my camera. I was focused on survival, okay? Even outside of the adventure stuff that we did, our socializing activities were partying and going to clubs and bars. And when I am inebriated, I am not thinking to record all of this for content. I'm simply enjoying the moment. And since being back in America, I really miss tasting authentic Asian food. So if you get hungry throughout the vlog and you also want a little bit of a taste, I would recommend you to try out Fly by Jing, which is the sponsor of today's video. These sauces are gonna change your life. These come from Fly by Jing, which is an amazing Asian-owned business, and their whole mission is to bring premium Chinese flavors to every table. This is the triple threat trio. These are my personal 3 of choice after using them for a while. Like, this has basically replaced sriracha for me. My go-to whenever I make instant noodles or fried rice and I want to have like an extra kick to it is the Szechuan chili crisp, which you see right here. Szechuan spice is a different kind of spice altogether because it has like that numbing sensation that you get. This is so good. This is definitely the one I use the most because I really like savory sauces. If you want something more sweet and tangy while still being spicy though, that's where Zong sauce comes into play. So they add stuff like their own soy sauce, mushrooms, garlic, brown sugar, a whole blend of spices. And it's so good. I'm just keep on talking while I'm eating. Last one, the Mala spice mix. You do have to mix it in with other stuff. I personally mix it in with soy sauce. This is just so good. Like, my stomach is so happy. You can use my code CINDY15 and it'll be your 15% off coupon when you order from Fly by Jing. Now let's head to the vlog. Hi everyone, welcome to week 2 of Thailand. This is gonna be the start of a new trip, and this will be with a brand new group of people too. Most of them got in here today. In like an hour, we'll be meeting them for our welcome dinner. We found out that like half the group is taller than Elias, and I'm one of the shortest people in the group. So I'm gonna be like, hi everyone, welcome to the trip. We got 3 men this time in the group. They're all pretty tall. And I think maybe either 2 or 3 couples, I don't know. We'll find out. But I'm excited to just start a bunch of new experiences with this new group and make even more friends. So I'll take you along with me to the welcome dinner. We're gonna get ready. Elias is gonna take a big boy nap. Also, last night, I got bit on my ass.
I bit her ass.
A mosquito bit my ass.
Sorry.
A mosquito named Elias. See you later.
Sometimes doesn't go to plan. You're thrown right across and you get stuck in the sand. There's a way somehow. We'll find a way somehow. I know the first instance it might seem hard, my friend. That's why we're always home. It all works out for the better in the
out for cycling today. Some of us were kind of nervous because a lot of us had not biked in a long time. Like some people hadn't biked since they were little kids, and I haven't biked since I would say 5 years. I personally need my bicycle seat to be low so that my feet can touch the ground. I know that's not the proper way for you to ride a bicycle, but I need my feet to touch the ground or else I will be scared. I just find it very ironic that this is the adventure themed trip and it's really just a bunch of book nerds and half of us are scared of like a bicycle being too tall. But I guess the plus side of us being unfit book nerds is that we will get through this together. I guess that's called trauma bonding. We also got to try a bunch of yummy street food before heading to a restaurant for dinner. This was the same restaurant that I had with the first group, but they changed up their menu. So this time I had pad thai. They gave us way too much. I was so full. I didn't need to eat all of it, but I wanted to anyway to impress our trip guide. Every time I finish my plate clean, I show it to her so that she'll be proud of me. Is it giving mommy issues? Perhaps. And then after we came back, some people in the group decided to go out for bar hopping. I do not have the stamina for the shit because we gotta wake up tomorrow before 8 o'clock to go hiking near a waterfall. I need all the energy I can get. However, a few of the introverts who did stay in the hotel wanted to do a little relaxation and put on some face masks and play some games together. So I didn't record this part because it just felt like weird if I vlogged us just like hanging out in this like more intimate setting. We had fun. I feel like it was good to have more face-to-face time with them, literally with our face masks. We looked so bad. We were struggling with those face masks. Ironically, I think this trip might end up being like the more chill experience compared to last week, even though it is adventure themed. I just feel like we get a lot more breaks. Maybe that's to compensate for the fact that we're doing more physical activity, but we'll see. Some of us are a little bit uncertain about that waterfall hike because I am a little bit afraid of going up steep places and I don't know how to swim. So we'll see how that goes. I'll take you along with me. I'm gonna go to bed and just rest up and get ready for the day tomorrow.
Are so damn clever, the things we talk about when we get together. Some like to dance, some like to sing, some spend the whole day laughing the clouds away. Bowling for dollars, the art museum, prehistoric dinosaurs, love to see them. A movie, a bike ride, a long walk, staying up late having late night talks. All of my friends, all of my friends, friends to the end, forever. All of my friends, whatever. Chipping in on a lottery ticket, choosing lucky numbers, gonna win and take a holiday, gonna get away in a convertible down the happy highway. A day at the beach, a stroll in the park, a hug on the hill, a kiss in the dark, a poem that you read, the intimate part, being together even when you're apart. All of my friends, all of my friends, friends to the end, forever. All of my friends, whatever. You know it's I before E, except after see you real soon, like the flowers in June.
are so many dogs here. There's 1, 2, 3, right there. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Hi.
That's cool. I did what I was supposed to. There's nothing left for me to do. So now I'm poking out my head through open windows. Cause that's what I feel like. Do it tonight. Waking up my brain. Maybe you can do the same thing. You want me to say something? I come up with nothing. Maybe we can talk until we figure out a topic. Been so long in my head, caught up in my feelings. I've been waiting for something new to happen. And when it happens, I'll be dancing on the lawn when it happens. When it happens, I'll be dancing on the lawn when it happens. You want me to say something? I come up with nothing. Maybe we can talk until we figure out a topic. Been so long in my head, caught up in my feet.
I bet that tasted as good as me. Haha, last night. No, it tastes like you then.
I feel like I haven't been updating as much because this trip has definitely been way more physically exhausting, which makes sense because it is the adventure themed trip. So yesterday was actually pretty fun. At first, we went to this village to go hiking. There were like a lot of village dogs. They were super cute. Then the hiking was right under the sun. And for some reason, I was expecting to be hiking through the jungle and being shaded by all these trees. It was really just more of the mountains. We had a pretty late lunch too. It was at 2 p.m. I was starving, but the food was so good. I had pretty much like the best omelet I've tasted in my life. And I feel like the fun part of the day was really when we climbed the waterfalls. In my mind, I was kind of afraid that we would literally be climbing the mountainside, like hands gripping on the rocks and trying to climb up, because I heard there would be rope involved too. So I really thought it was like one of those things where you're literally scaling a mountain. But fortunately, that was not the case. And good thing too, because what I've realized from this trip is that none of us here, or most of us here, are not actually adventure people. We're really just book nerds who are trying desperately to touch grass. So this trip is very much going outside of our comfort zone. The waterfall climb was fun because there were rocks to climb on, but you still had a rope to cling onto. And so I guess that was like the climbing part of it. You had to use your weight and the rope to go down the mountain or go up the mountain. I think the river part was what made it more exciting because you could be like going directly against the water. Everyone got wet. It was like inevitable. Apparently this waterfall is advertised to be having sticky rocks. It should be sticky enough for you to like grip onto. I was expecting some Spider-Man shit. Instead, it was slippery rocks. Everyone was slipping, even me. I fell down. Elias fell down. The other travelers fell down, but it was fun. Honestly, I was more concerned about getting my phone wet, but it was fine. I was able to take some pictures. They were really nice, and we took a fun group photo as well. I feel like it was a good bonding experience because we were all kind of scared, so we were all trying to like hype each other up and get through it together. I'm definitely going outside my comfort zone by doing all these physically exerting activities because I definitely never do this shit when I'm traveling somewhere on my own. So I feel much safer doing it with a group, especially with other people who are experiencing it for the first time. So it's like we can kind of go through all of this together. Elias is brushing his teeth right now.
You're fine. I almost died.
You fell on your face, didn't you?
Yeah, I slipped at the very top.
And today, my legs feel so sore, especially my thighs. We climbed down the waterfall, which is much harder, but then climbing up, you have to pull your whole weight onto like pulling yourself up the rope. Today, we went to an elephant sanctuary. We drove to Pai, which is a small town, but along the way, there was an elephant park that we got to visit. This was different from the first week because instead of bathing the elephants, it was more so observing. But fortunately, we still got to touch the elephants and see them up close and get to walk alongside them. And we got to feed them a little bit. They were super cute, and we even saw baby elephants and they were adorable. What's funny is that there were other animals too. Like there was a buffalo, and at some point he started charging towards our direction. And so I just like moved to the side because I knew you're not supposed to touch any of the animals. Meanwhile, one of the elephant guides screamed her ass off when the buffalo was coming in our direction. I'm like, girl, you need to chill. Shouldn't you be used to this shit by now? And what was cool about this elephant park was that not only do they have a bunch of elephants, they also have a dog shelter and a cat shelter. So we got to see all the cats that were hanging out there, and I wanted to see the dogs too, but along the way to walking over to the dog shelter, we got stopped because apparently some dude visited the elephant park with a weapon, and I think he was like trying to harass the elephants or something. So they had to call the police, and he was just acting like super belligerent. Basically, we weren't allowed to cross into the area where he was at because that was along the way to the dog shelter, and he just did not seem to be a stable individual. That is the only time I could have petted a dog in Thailand, because you shouldn't be petting animals around Thailand, especially dogs, because they might have rabies. But with the dog shelters, they are all vaccinated, so I could have petted the dogs, and that man took the opportunity away from me, and for that I will never forgive him. Then that night we arrived at Pai. We checked into a hotel, which is this one. We checked out the night market and just sampled a whole bunch of food. I ate gyoza and pork belly and fried chicken, and for dessert I got a waffle with Nutella and strawberries, so I really filled myself up. I think in total all of that food was like less than $8. And tomorrow we will be going through white water rafting, so that will be an interesting experience because I'm not sure how strong the rapids will be. I have done rafting before when I was in college, but it was super tame. I have a feeling that Thailand will have a unique new set of challenges for us to figure out. It's just gonna be a hectic week altogether. I'll keep you updated. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to catch up on sleep because I have not had 8 hours of sleep for the past week, and I need my sleep in order to survive any of this. Good night!
Too long, but I don't wanna come down. Caught up in a long free fall, you got me off of the ground. Sway for a minute, the plane moves side to side. Ticket, I want you in my life. Feel a mile high when you're on my side. High up in the sky, cruising through the night. Follow the signs, you're looking like a one-way. Gotta make the right choice. Hope I make the right noise. Hoping that you like boys like me. I know you're feeling me from across the room. I got a feeling you could be my muse. I hear strange when I see you. You say green, but I see blue.
I am now in a different hotel. Elias is chilling in the background. I wanted to end the vlog here because the adventure trip is over. I feel like I did not record as much for this trip, but that's because our activities, some of them, like, you shouldn't bring the camera around. So we didn't have any footage from whitewater rafting, but we can tell you what happened. Elias fell in the river like 4 times.
Yeah, I fell in more than anyone.
Yeah.
It was great.
In the first half, it was so chill. We were so bored. Then the second
so
half?
disappointing. I thought nothing was gonna happen, and then it got us. It got us in the first half, not gonna lie, but the second half, it was totally worth it.
Yeah,
There were some really scary parts, actually.
The second half had a lot of rapids. Everyone in our 21-person group fell, except for maybe 3 people. I was one of them.
You did not fall.
I did not fall because I didn't want to get wet, so I willed myself to stay in the boat, even when it was shaking around from the rapids. I did fall once, but that was like inside the boat. I didn't fall like out. Also, our guides during the whitewater rafting, there were like 4 dudes. Their personalities came out during the rafting, I feel
Yeah, they
like.
were great.
They were like joking around and stuff. Old Asian men like laughing and like poking fun at
Very
us.
wholesome.
Yeah, it was cute. So then there was the farewell dinner, but then some travelers still stayed like for a few days afterward. And so then for the rest of the trip, we pretty much just went out to bars and went clubbing and dancing. Obviously, I didn't bring my camera during that time because I was just trying to focus on having a good time. I got high a few times too, and whenever I'm high, like I don't remember to vlog anything. That's why I didn't get as much footage. It's been a very busy 2 weeks, so I look forward to being a hermit. So we had 2 itineraries during the past 2 weeks. One was culinary themed, and then the other was adventure themed. Which itinerary did you like more?
I liked adventure more just because I like adventure and it was just a lot more fun.
For me, I think I like the culinary themed itinerary better because I just like eating and sitting on my ass, and I realized the adventure part of this trip required roughing it a lot. So I was getting dirty, I had to be barefoot a lot, and I don't even like looking at my feet. Sometimes when we would stop during whitewater rafting, we would stop near some kind of bank to get a lunch break or like check out the water buffaloes or whatever, and I'm just so distracted by like everyone's bare feet, and I had to like try to not pay attention to it, or else if I think too much about it, I get grossed out. Don't let the dogs out.
You know what? She's actually thinking.
Ew. And our feet were getting dirty from like all the mud. There was like muddy
It was
water
fantastic.
too. Yeah, you were like playing in the mud too. I was not about it. I think I'm too prissy for that shit. But I'm glad everyone had a fun time. We took 2 different rafts because something I've been doing throughout this trip is sitting at a different table or going to a different car whenever we go somewhere so that I can spend time with other travelers. Like we can split off so that we're not like paired together all the time.
Yeah, so people don't think we're together, you know?
Yeah, God forbid. One of the travelers brought her boyfriend who does not know anything about my channel, and he asked you if we were dating.
Yeah, it was freaking black. Are you sitting together? And I was like,
you foolish straight man.
I was like, no.
Did you act disgusted when you said no?
I was like, nah, man, we're not together.
Vlad, if you're watching this, you probably are not. Kendall will show you this video. You're a foolish straight man, but it's okay because you were fun to eat and hang out with.
Homie.
Yeah, you made so many bros during this trip.
For sure. Good times. Good memories.
Honestly, Thailand was so much more fun because we got to hang out with a group of people. Like, I definitely had more fun compared to like if I had traveled by myself.
Yeah, for sure. Some of the stuff on the itinerary, insane. Would not have even thought of doing or going.
Yeah, I would have never gone out of my way to like visit a village in the outskirts of town. I would never gone all the way up a mountain and try to like climb a waterfall or go by water rafting or anything. So these itineraries just really helped me discover things I never would have on my own. And it's so much more fun experiencing new things with other people.
Yeah, for sure.
Honestly, I would be so down to go to Thailand again. I have another trip in like 5 months going to Vietnam. Elias is coming. We are both Vietnamese, but we've never been to Vietnam before.
Our home country.
So-
Do you know what province you're from? Like north or south?
I literally know nothing.
Oh, damn.
I have no idea like
We could be
where
enemies.
I'm from. Oh my gosh,
Enemies
to
to
lovers. If there's any future group trips going on, I will link them in my description below.
Yep.
So that concludes Thailand, and we'll see you for the next adventure. Bye.
I see you, you say green, but I see blue. Either way, your eyes the ones I'm looking to when I'm half